Previously on the Pardon My Take documentary.
Hey, so we have not good news from ESPN. I'm going to put you on speaker, okay? I'm here with Dave.
Okay.
So guys, Skipper just canceled it.
Yeah, I was mad at everybody involved. I thought that it was not the right position for us to be in. We had been sold a bag of goods. I was upset.
There was definitely a little bit of a, should we leave? Is this not going to be sustainable long term? This, like I've said, the scarlet letter that people put on Barstool, is this something that's going to stop us?
I basically was like, I'm out. Like, I don't want to hear anything that's going on. I don't want to hear about like the negotiations or anything. Just like, if you're leaving, let me know when it's all said and done. Otherwise, we'll just keep moving forward.
Cliffhanger, I'm still here. The BBT saga obviously was tough to deal with. Staying was always the move, and it never got to a point where I was actually thinking about leaving. It was more of just like a theoretical, we could.
Grass isn't always greener, and after having some conversations with Dave, what brought me back to Barstool was the fact that I can do whatever I want here.
I knew in my heart of hearts I couldn't, just because of the Stoolies and the fan base and all the years I'd put into work to help build Barstool to where it was.
Being able to do things like start a podcast with Arian Foster, even pursue some musical interests on the outside, that is what really brought me home and made me feel like this was the place to be, because there's no other place in the world that would let me do just whatever I want to do and pursue whatever interests I have all day long with very little oversight. I don't get people telling me, okay, you can't do this podcast, you can't touch this topic. If you want to get Big T riled up about this, be careful because we got corporate partners. Like it's basically whatever I want to do, the people I want to do it with, and you can't ask for anything more.
It's a weird feeling when it's a job, but it becomes more than a job, and the people you care about and the people you like working with, you care about them so much that you can't be selfish and leave and try to take the biggest payday or something like that. I wanted to stay and keep building what we moved to New York to build.
Basically, every day I come into work and I can do whatever I want, and these are the people that I choose to work with, and the listeners make it all worthwhile. And it's a fantastic place. It's a job that really shouldn't exist anywhere. If I told my high school guidance counselor, like, this is what I want to do with my life, she would have said, well, no, that's not a job, find a real job. I get that every single day, and there's no other place that could provide that for me.
It was actually very good for my relationship with Dave, and kind of readjusting where the friction was that when Pardon My Take started and we all moved to New York, Pardon My Take became at a moment so big that it was this weird, is it Barstool or Pardon My Take? But the BBT situation refocused me to it's Barstool and Pardon My Take. And Dave and I had some really good long talks, difficult conversations about what we saw for the future. And I think we both agreed in our best interest, being more aligned, working together more was the way that we can kind of beat everyone.
Emergency press conference, breaking news, Barstool Radio. I'm here today to announce, give me that sign, give me the sign. Here, can you guys read? Can you morons read? Sirius XM, Barstool Radio is coming. It's gonna be every day in your face. Rush 93, we are coming.
We had a Sirius radio show, or like an entire channel. I think it was just Barstool Radio at first, and then it expanded a little bit. And when it expanded, there was some talk about doing Pardon My Take on the radio show. But we realized, like, that's not a good idea. We want people, the podcast should come first. Why would we put the podcast on live radio for a different company? Because it would just cannibalize what we already had. But also at the same time, we saw opportunities to do other things with radio with other people that we didn't already work with.
Dave had conversations with me. He had the similar ones with Big Cat and PFT, just about, yes, we're growing Pardon My Take, but we're also still Barstool employees, and kind of talking about exploring new shows to build under the Barstool umbrella, which is how things like Sports Advisors and the College Football Show, the Yak, Macrodosing, a bunch of the serious programming, a bunch of the new stuff we've done, we kind of went away from doing our own video stuff and took that time into creating new shows and things within the Barstool universe.
This was kind of the perfect spot where I could have something outside of Pardon My Take that proved to Dave how invested I was in Barstool, and being able to create something that was just as much for Barstool as it was, Pardon My Take was a really good thing to get back at the table and be like, let's keep growing and building this thing. So yeah, when he asked me if I wanted to do a show, I thought it was a no-brainer. Doing a live show, there's nothing like it. So yeah, that's how the Yak was born.
Don't talk back.
Just finished cleaning up your room.
Welcome to the Evening Yak on Barstool Power 85. I'm your host, Big Cat. I got Carabas and Roan with me.
Adam Ferrone, Roan. I've worked at Barstool coming on 9 years now.
Who is your president? Yeah! But not really.
Big Cat and I didn't work a ton together. We worked a little bit on Barstool Van Talk. And when we found out that Barstool Van Talk was going to be canceled, he was like, we're getting a radio station, and I think that we should do a show. I didn't know what the show was going to be, but I was an idea guy at the time. So I wrote down 50 different titles for the show. I might even have Words Amongst Men, Cats Out of the Bag, The Cat's Pajamas, Dan, Jared, and Adam, Evening Yak, Conversation Monologue, Men at Nights, Murph and the Magic Tones, Cat and Mouse King, Tomorrow Eve Supper, The Night That Will Be, Third Floor Dusk Club, Fine Tobacco and Sport, Starting 3, Feline Hotline, Tonight's First Beer, After Dinner Drinks, Infrequency, Dan the Lion, Dangerous, Starting 9 Lives, Red Sauce and Gravy, Gabby Douglas, 9 Lives Matter, Landing on Your Feet, Bet on Yourself, The Golden Hour, Litterbox, Evening Yak, Sweatpants Radio, 6 O'Clock Belt Off, The Elastic Waistband, Comfort for Men, The Couch Crew, The Duskateers, Unbuckle. Literally 30 names. I was just like, do any of those sound good? And when I said The Evening Yak, both Big Cat and PFT were like, ooh, I like that. That's a good, interesting name. And the name for The Evening Yak was born.
Andrew, go ahead, Andrew.
What's up, KFC Fights, Super Dudes BC, first time, long time. Got a question.
What's up?
If you had to write your own warning label that people would read every time you met somebody, it would be like a sign or like a badge or something, what would it be?
Please record your message.
What's up, KFC Fights, Super Dudes BC, first time, long time. So I got a question for you. If you had to write your own warning label that people would read every time you met someone, what would it be? Mine probably read,
Please record your message.
so KFC Fights Super Producer BC, first time, long time. Got a question for you guys. If you had to write your own warning label that people would read every time they met you, what would
Yo,
it be?
dude, you called into Evening Yak. I've been fucking with you the whole time. It's Big Cat. I've been doing the beep sound the whole time.
Oh,
The show evolved, so it started as the Evening Yak, and then in 2019 I had my first child. We moved offices, so the 6 o'clock time slot was not good for me anymore.
I hate this. I think this looks, unless this is not done, this looks stupid. Like, what is this blinking light shit?
We moved to noon, and then we started adding people, and it became something different, because at the beginning of the Evening Yak, it's 6 p.m., the office is empty, it's just kind of us on an island. Now we move to the noon slot, and it becomes more of a what's going on in the office, reality show, grab someone to come in, and that's how we started adding people. KB, Caleb, Owen, Nick, Kate, Sass, all these people that are very, very funny, and I just wanted to keep adding so that we get to a point where the show is an ensemble show and everyone can shine and show how funny they are in this live show format.
How the fuck a computer gonna ask me if I'm a robot? Bitch, you the robot. I want to retell that joke with
joke is that?
some random people.
Wait, let's get somebody in here and act like it's about something else, but you cut us off and you're just like, wait a minute.
How is
Should I rebrand?
Why is it so hard to log on to Flickr
Why
nowadays?
is Burger King canceled though?
Wait, hold on.
How the fuck is a computer gonna ask me if I'm a robot? Bitch, you the robot. God damn. Okay. But so did you?
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Well, how'd you rank that? Not
1
really.
to 10, 7.
Oh,
Pretty
okay.
Is St. Louis on the bubble still? Settle a bet for us.
Travis Ford
Check
being
that
a little
out.
bit of a baby back bitch.
I think they're off.
Why is Facebook
Plus, they have
trying
no
to-
more games in hand. They're
Well, does
done.
Facebook make their security Go on.
Sorry.
No, I think
Crazy.
they changed it. Why?
Wait, just how the fuck is a computer gonna ask me if I'm a robot? Bitch, you the robot.
That's hilarious. Sorry, I'm not
1 to 10. What did you rank that?
8.
Oh, he's getting nice. Eating up, folks.
So when the Sirius contract ended, it was the end to everyone's show, and I said to everyone on the Yak, I was like, I don't want to end this show. I'm having so much fun doing this show. Just because Sirius ended it doesn't mean we can't keep doing it. And everyone was in.
There was a 0% chance the show was going to end when Sirius ended. We were ready to go YouTube the day after Sirius ended, and we did it, and then the vibes were abysmal. Those first few shows were dog shit. And that's an iteration of the show as well. Every once in a while we'll go through a dog shit phase. And then we realized that we can get a little bit more bold with, you know, scents and stunts and you know, feats.
Oh, it's so... Way to go, Zane.
No! Oh my god! You're soaked! You're soaked! It's so wet!
It just opened up a world of possibilities where it wasn't just a radio show. People could see us and they could understand the things we were doing, and it just became a totally different show, and it was incredible. It essentially opened up everything to us.
It's literally a group chat in human form. You're 7 people, whatever you talk about in your group chat.
He's got a perfect snot bubble! Oh my god! He's got a perfect snot bubble!
You never know what is going to be on the show every day you turn in, whether it's a celebrity appearance or an athlete running the gauntlet or somebody doing a weird challenge or a new game getting put together.
It's not Bucky Cobb.
I can't.
I compare it most to, I have a really tight-knit group of cousins, and one of my favorite things is like being hungover with them, watching TV, and we're all just joking around and laughing about stuff. And that's what I get to experience kind of every single day with these guys, minus the hangover.
This is badass.
His face isn't changing, bro.
Oh, fuck.
Oh! John Madden. Adam Levine.
Yeah, I did.
You can't get to Sandman.
I could get to.
I think my favorite Yak episode, period, is the Nick Tarani toe surgery episode.
It used to be a torment show. I got surgery on it once.
Because it keeps hurting! Because it keeps hurting me!
Oh my god.
Let him do it! Let him do it! I think you just pushed it in deeper.
What are you seeing on?
But he was
You know, we have to fart, we have to expose ourselves, we have to, I guess you could describe a lot of the stuff as homoerotic. A lot of touching, a lot of grabbing, a lot of tasting.
Speaking of pissing,
Yeah.
I got a.
Go on.
I feel comfortable sharing this now. There's a new way to piss that I don't think enough people are doing, and it's very funny.
One, let's get it, boy.
Oh no.
Army crawl, they came apart.
I try to explain that, especially someone like me coming from a completely different culture. When I go home and my people ask me about my job and stuff like that, I try to explain that, you know, we had an episode that we spent 2 hours trying to fart.
No, that was real?
The best way I would describe it is like a hybrid of, it's basically 7 friends sitting around talking about whatever they want to talk about, surfing the internet together, and then torturing each other. So it's like equal elements, ridiculousness and like America's Funniest Videos mixed with a traditional podcast where we're just riffing, mixed with Jackass.
What is he smoking?
He's got a
Half
cigarette.
a cigarette?
It's PCP.
That is PCP.
Oh,
I didn't.
Oh,
even
they're
know that.
hosing him. Oh my god. They're-
Oh,
what a brilliant man.
Oh my God. 10x.
Get his face.
All right. He just runs away from him.
I think the case race was like a one-off comment that somebody made that just said, what if we just did a case race?
Roan, Sass, and I were driving back, and we're like, dude, we should do a case race. That was like 6 months ago. It's the most hyped you could ever be going into something, and then within 5 minutes, like after you like chug your second beer, you're like, why the fuck am I doing this? Why can't I just drink a beer like a normal human being?
Stay zoomed in. Stay zoomed
Ah.
in. Stay zoomed in.
Give us 10, TJ. TJ.
Damn, that's 16. I'm the Joker, baby.
Here, it's fully in. Who's spraying it in here?
I said I'm gonna puke. I said I'm gonna puke.
Gonna chug. The Will Compton chug. No. Shut up.
Wait.
Shut up for a second.
Brother, you got the Tootsie Roll. I got 1,000.
Shut up, Sass. Shut the fuck up, Sass.
I think the Shane case race, as awkward as it was, it's one of the craziest moments I've been a part of at Barstool.
So, Shane, when you were in the bathroom, Steven said to us, he didn't know the SNL story.
I was told during the taping that he made an Asian joke. To be honest, it was a very embarrassing moment for me because if you drink 10 beers or 9 or 10 beers in an hour and 5 minutes, you're not going to be on your best behavior.
Shane, all you have to say is you were given some guff.
Yes.
You were just giving guff. You were giving guff.
You're either giving guff or you want to wrestle right now. I remember telling Brandon this and TJ, like, I just wanted to like wrestle somebody. And that's something that we've done on the show. You have two choices.
You have two choices. Giving guff or wrestle.
When it comes to goofing around about Asians, when I got fired from Saturday Night Live.
You giving guff?
I for real was just joshing, dude.
Giving guff.
Shane, to see if you're telling the truth, what's your order at Chinese food? This is either going to result in a fight between you and I, a wrestling match, or you're cool. In that moment, when I was asking him Chinese food order and Big Cat is repeating it and kind of egging him on.
Are these your office workers?
Yes. Say your order.
Make sure this office worker isn't trying to fight me right now.
Say your order. Just say your order.
Can't try to fight him.
Say your order.
As a guest.
Say your order.
No. Just say your real order.
As a guest.
Trust me, I wish I could go back and not repeat myself.
But him not saying it became this giant game of chicken. And if you're 10 beers in, you're not going to lose a game of chicken, so.
Why did he, out of nowhere, try to fight me?
You go through hell the next morning dealing with the hangover, the regret, the shame.
I'm still criticized to that to this day. I'll post something on Instagram and I'll have people being like, Shane should have kicked your ass.
That was just insane. And yeah, Shane, Shane's going to go on to be one of the best comedians of all time. And we still will have the clip of me saying 1,000 times say your order because I don't know why, and Stephen Che trying to step to one of the most famous comedians of all time in face paint.
Kellogg didn't get pussy.
This dude put out Ron Kellogg.
Highlights last night, dude. Today. I saw him hit that fucking Hail Mary.
Hail Mary against Northwestern. Yeah, you
watched it last night, dude.
Wait, I believe you.
It was kind of a lucky thing that happened at the office. Roan and Robbie were talking one day about just pop punk music, and I heard them singing. I heard them doing like a Tom DeLonge from Blink voice.
My friends and I always used to make fun of the Tonight style of singing, pop punk singing, Blink 182, Sum 41, any band that had a name and then some numbers after it, we were making fun of them. Tonight, 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 tonight. Tonight, 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 night, 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 night. Nice, Mom. So Robbie and I were just kind of going back and forth the one day, just being like, yeah, we should make a band talking about this, because Robbie was already into pop punk.
So I went by, was like, hey, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, we might start a band. And I was like, I play guitar. I love punk music. Let's talk.
Before you knew it, we were making a band.
I just want to know one thing. Who came for the revolution that is pop punk?
Welcome to the pay-per-view for Pup Punk live from Irving Plaza.
You don't know her, she lives in Canada where it's colder. I'm in love and you're not. My real girlfriend's really hot.
Music to me just never seemed like there was like a thing. So it's like I'm spending so much time doing this. Then you come to Barstool and all of a sudden you get to like leap over 80 different levels of where you would have had to achieve, and you're selling out New York City venues with 1,000 people in the crowd, and you're playing Back in Black as like an intro, and you're just like, wait a minute, I guess all that shit was worth it, but this is a lottery pick. I have a lottery ticket in terms of music. I get to go live out a Rockstar dream for no apparent reason. Like, this is like fantasy factory shit. We're playing Rock Band, the video game, in real life.
The live shows are some of the most fun environments that I've ever been in. And like, we get to do a lot of cool shit here at Barstool, but I'd say Pup Punk is right up there with some big episodes, some big interviews from Part of My Take that really make me stand back and be like, what is my life? What am I even doing? Because we'll get to play in front of like some major actual bands. We get to have big crowds singing along. You really do get to pretend like you're a rock star for a night, minus like the hard drugs, unfortunately. Billy's gonna get fucked tonight. Fucked raw by all of us.
I've never done anything like this.
Well, why did you volunteer? Why did you volunteer to do it, Billy?
I did.
It's almost like it's time for Billy football.
Hey, Ron, I got a good idea. Let's entertain some fucking clients. In the days sweat out on the streets of a runaway American dream. A nightly ride through mansions of glory and suicide machines. Smoke from cages on
Yeah, it was 2017 at the time. It was still just me, Big Cat, PFT. We decided that summer we were going to bring in a couple interns. I hired Bubba to work with me. He ended up becoming full-time and being with us for a long time. And then Big Cat and PFT went with Billy Football to be the first content intern that summer. And at the time, I don't think we understood still, like we knew the show was big, but we didn't have the scope of how big it was and how big the audience was and how much they loved what we were doing. And seeing how they reacted to Billy and all the stuff that went on that summer, it was really an eye-opening experience for us.
Are you an ass or tits guy?
I'm a respect guy.
Yep. Okay, you respect women. There we go. So you finally learned after answering that question wrong like 700 times.
I always said respect.
No, you said the first time
you said
I want like big
ass,
butts,
but I also like a big tits
and nice face
and good face and pretty.
Yeah, and
really talented.
athletic and can be like good childbearing hips, as you said, all of that.
And
stuff.
rich.
Yeah, rich.
Good jaws.
Good in the kitchen.
Open throat.
No gag reflex. That's you said all these
I like
things.
Heather Brooke.
I like eye contact.
Yeah, Heather Brooke and Alexis Texas.
Yeah.
Why no eye contact? Why no gag reflex?
Because then you get your dick all the way down there.
Because they're not afraid to speak their mind.
Yeah.
What is it? Wait.
What?
After that summer, we realized if we had more help, we could do more as a show. So we added Bubba full time. He was with us for a long time. He was my right-hand man. We brought on Jilly Football as an intern. That was an experience.
Oh, they are. Oh, okay, I see that.
No gain. It's to work out the calf muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I'm going to be able to dunk within like a month or two. So it's weightlifting basically.
But those suck. You can't wear those outside.
And of course, our darling Jake Marsh, who has provided some of the most iconic moments in the podcast history, most of them, unfortunately, at my expense.
Surrender, surrender, surrender.
Okay. Got you.
I'm the best in the office! I am the best one here! Fight!
Jake and Jilly were in the same intern class, and when the summer ended, Jake went back to broadcasting college basketball full time, and it was back to just me, Bubba, Big Cat, PFT. And we just kept trying to grow the show. We kept trying to get bigger guests. We kept trying to keep the show fresh. And when we did travel, things like Grit Week, we tried to blow them out of the water. And having a sponsor like Chevy made it so much easier for us to integrate because it was natural. Our fans loved it. And it opened the doors for us to be able to go wherever we wanted and do whatever we wanted to do. And I think the Grit Week and where we've gone over the years just perfectly encapsulates the podcast, how much we've grown, the guests we're able to get on Grit Week now versus what we were getting in 2016. And it's all thanks to Chevy.
When you look at
way
me
cooler.
right there, dude, your eyes are sick.
Oh, thanks, man. Likewise,
Yeah.
you too. You got a very pretty hazel.
You think so?
Yeah, hazel green color.
your
going.
eyes are fucking
How
sick,
are my
bro.
eyes? Yours are. I just see my own.
And then 2020 happened, and the world of sports shut down. There was no college basketball to broadcast, so Jake Marsh came back. Billy football, he finished college, he came back, and that was huge for us because we were a sports podcast. We had to do episodes 3 times a week. We needed stuff to talk about. We needed different perspectives. Billy and Jake were huge for that, and the craziest fact about this podcast, I think, of all time is that despite the fact that we're a sports podcast, when the world shut down, our podcast grew.
Conventional wisdom would tell you that if there's no sports, then why is there a sports podcast? Why are people going to listen if there's nothing to talk about it? Well, we kind of just made up our mind that we're going to be open and honest about, yeah, this sucks, there's no sports. But I think that was like relatable. People want to know what was going on with our lives. We did have Tiger King to talk about for that week too, so I think we milked like a month of content out of that documentary. But I mean, that's what everybody was doing. We didn't have an outlet.
When COVID happened, we were basically given the directive, you can come in the office, do your show, then go home.
You have a small group of people you work with because of the restrictions and the guidelines and stuff. Only work with those pods. So you would come in, you would work with those 3 people, and then you would leave. There was no mingling around the office. There was no anything.
How it was before COVID, it definitely changed after COVID. People obviously came back to the office, but with Dave in Florida and people getting into the routine of being able to work from home and do their own thing, it just didn't have the same everyday hustle and bustle.
Barstool never really got back to how it was in the first New York headquarters or even the second one before COVID. It never got back into that place where everyone was going to be in at 10 o'clock, probably stick around till 5 o'clock. People kind of came and went as they wanted to. There wasn't as much mingling, there wasn't as much collaboration, and that was by design because of COVID. And it just, people got trained into doing that, and it just never really came back to what it was.
Like the office is different now because Dave is obviously such a force of nature and such a big part of that office that when he left, it feels like we lost a little something. So the idea was always, let's move to New York, let's get everyone together, let's work together every single day, let's make it a reality show, and we think we'll go to the moon. And the original plan was to try to get some type of like fun factory. I'm the biggest Rob Dyrdek fan. Robin Big was one of my favorite shows. So we actually originally looked at spaces that would have allowed us to do that. The problem was they were in Long Island City or New Jersey. So in New York, it's hard to get a lot of space. It's hard to build a big office like that. So we had to adjust and just have a more traditional office building because we knew that part of it was getting guests and we wanted to be in Manhattan. Come to 2020 and COVID, Dave moves down to Florida. Penn buys us. Dave maybe takes a little step back. So the original Barstool idea of moving to New York, everyone being together, get this company bought by someone, we had accomplished. So in my mind, it was like, okay, we've accomplished goal 1. We did what we set out to do faster than we thought we would do it. Now goal 2 is, what's gonna make me happiest? And it's being in Chicago and building a fun factory.
I think if COVID doesn't happen, then it's a different world with how things went with the move. But COVID made it that much more clear that as long as we're together, we can be wherever and we're gonna be fine. And Dave was gone out of New York, and like I said, it was just, we were living in Manhattan to work with the 3 of us anyway, so why wouldn't we live somewhere we all wanted to live?
I said to Erica and Dave, like, hey, I want to go back to Chicago. I want to build a fun factory. I don't want to make anyone move. If there are people that want to come with me, I would love that, but I'm not going to, I don't want it to be a situation where people feel pressure. There might be people who think it was sudden. It was anything but sudden because it was, I think we started planning it in 2020. Nobody has ever mentioned in the
Just get one go around.
One go around.
One touch for everybody.
Boom. Boom. Bring it over to me.
Oh, we
we got KP.
This office, it feels like it's sucking the life out of everyone that's in it. It seems like everyone hates it here and we're all on top of one another. No one knows where to sit, especially being one of the only girls in the office. Do I sandwich between two dudes? Do I try to slide in? Do I sit on the floor? Do I make myself small? I'm just in a really weird spot here. We don't even have studios. We got phone booths back there, but you can hear everything that everyone's saying, so it's not really like awesome.
I mean, it's, 100 people packed into a clown car.
It's a great office for 10 people. For 50 people, it's a shithole.
Has anyone mentioned that yet? The 2 keys. I've walked in on a lot of people, and I'm starting to get a reputation around here. It's very stressful.
I'm most excited about being able to poop in peace. I've been pooping and been walked in on by Eddie and PFT while I'm pooping.
I've been peeing in the sink every single day. Every single day I pee in the sink.
I don't want to complain, but it sucked. It sucks. There's not enough room. The lights are weird. It's like the office itself wishes it would be put down.
I think everyone's very pumped. It feels like everyone's settled in, has good living situations, enjoys the city, loves the city.
Incredible opportunity. The show I work on, the Yak, coming here, a lot of the sports gambling was moving here, kind of my alley, so it represented an incredible opportunity, so it made sense career-wise to make the move here.
I wanted to be a part of what this whole new office was going to be. It seemed like the best move in Barstool was to be associated with Barstool Chicago and the new office that was opening, so it was a no-brainer for me.
Big Cat asked me to come out here, get a place and come work. So yeah, Big Cat, it wasn't easy convincing though, it wasn't hard.
God, it was probably like a year and a half ago now, I got a text from Big Cat saying, all these people are moving out there, you're part of the Yak, would you like to come to Chicago? Didn't hesitate for a second, absolutely yes.
The new office, I am probably most excited for the basketball court.
Basketball, 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 basketball.
I don't want to brag. I don't know if anyone's seen my highlights from Yak basketball, but your girl can ball a little bit. Surprise.
Most excited initially, obviously, is for the space. Secondly, about the collaboration there's going to be between brands. I think it's going to be really cool seeing like, oh, PMT versus Dog Walk. Oh, Dog Walk versus Anus. I think there's going to be a lot of cool things where all the brands are going to intermingle, and it's just going to pour into all of our regular content.
What are you most excited for with the new office?
Oh, golf simulator. Just going to be living in that simulator every single day. Work on the game. I'll be a golfer one day.
I actually think people don't realize how awesome the new office is. I think that I told everyone first week of September when we had to move the date, I was like, look, we all got to suck it up. We all got to be a team player here. Like, share space. It stinks, but do yourself a favor and go view the new office and see it under construction, and you'll be wowed. I don't think anyone took me up on that. From talking, I don't think people have made the trip down there, but I have gone there pretty much every week to check the progress, and it is so much better than I envisioned. It's out of this world. Like, I couldn't be more excited. All right, this is it. This is a place. It's blank canvas, space for days. Let's see what we make out of this place. I'm excited for the future. idiot that if he won Game 6, there would be no Game 7.
Correct.
Therefore, Game 6 was a must-win.
No, but if if you lose the must-win, there's no coming back from it.
No. Then you have a can't lose Game 7, you idiot.
You guys don't understand what a must-win is. Yes, I do.
Win the must-win.
I'm trying to win.
No,
Today's
you
the
didn't.
must-win.
Yesterday was a
Today
must-win.
is the must-win. Because once you lose the must-win, you're dead.
If you lose tonight, Game 6 was a must-win, and if you had acted appropriately, maybe the guys would have tried a little harder. Instead, they see Max, #1 sports podcast, being like, Psh, Game 6, not a must-win. You don't think Bryce Harper listens? You don't think Kyle Schwarber listens? And they're like, oh, Max said we don't have to win tonight.
That's
We're
not
fine.
true.
That is exactly how it happened.
That's not true.
You started sucking Aaron Nola's dick and being like, this guy's incredible.
I have been saying the whole time.
You look like such a clown.
Last week, you asked me, like, why are you an Aaron Nola hater? Why are you an Aaron Nola hater? And it was for moments like yesterday. I've said it perfectly this entire playoffs. He either looks like the best pitcher on the planet or the worst. And yesterday, in that second inning, he was the fucking worst.
Where did you get this?
No free ads.
No free ads. We can bleep that.
Hey, Max, where do you want me to put it?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
I always feel like I'm shooting a porn.